Hello and welcome back to Impact Soccer. I am here with Wilson Navas, the owner of Certified Lions FC, who will be participating in the soccer tournament TST next week in North Carolina. This is very exciting. Wilson, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Why don't we start off with why don't you just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and Certified Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the founder of the club here in OKC. We started this club in 2019, playing normally as a Sunday league. More like a bunch of friends getting together and playing, having some fun. And a couple of years later, we ended up taking a little more serious than what maybe we should have. And now we're glad that we had made it go this far. We the whole idea was always to help the community have a different view of what's really needed to be successful at soccer, or playing football, in so many different ways out there, that there's still to be reached and not at the ability of the players here. So we decided, okay, let's take these guys to go play out there and see that there is a little more than what we have in OKC. There's a lot more to learn. There's a lot more mental thing to it. So we kind of built a kind of like a vision, built up a platform for it, and so far I believe it's done well. There's a lot more to be accomplished, but so it is with everything else that we do, right? Even the
Yeah,
most successful people, they're still trying to accomplish something else, right?
yeah,
So we're in
absolutely.
that process, and making it to TST is I guess it's a great thing for our city and the community to have that opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So, can you talk a little bit about kind of, the opportunities you saw playing in TST? You're playing against some pretty exciting teams. You've got Atletico Madrid playing Sergio Aguero's team. Kind of what does that mean for you as the owner, and kind of what opportunity do you think this is going to give to some of your players in the team?
I mean, for me and the club, it kind of fulfills everything that we strive for, because our whole idea is to get these players to go play head to head with people that players that have done very well or better than they have. I believe that playing with people at a lower level than you are, physically, mentally, and talent wise, there's not much to learn from. There's a few things that you can always learn from everything, right? Discipline, respect, and all those kind of things. But playing against players that have done very well, such as some of the players on these teams, uh, will help our players elevate the mindset to be rich. That what there is to get to, because where we are is definitely not everything that where we want to get. So doing this will allow them a lot easier to see, okay, well, this guy is really fast. I thought I was fast. So that means that when the coach says, let's go ahead and do these sprints, we really need to sprint, because there is fast people out there faster than we are. So sometimes players need to see, not just hear about things. And so I think having this opportunity, TST provide this opportunity, and us provided it to our players, is going to be huge to the future success, of developing our players to become better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, you kind of mentioned you guys sort of started as a Sunday league. I saw you guys you do some indoor soccer as well, some NASL. So, the thing that stuck out to me about that is that seems like something that maybe can translate well to 7v7 that maybe wouldn't be experienced if it was an 11v11 team. So, how do you think your experience playing there is going to translate into playing TST?
I mean, obviously, being used to having players on top of you, and having to think so quick, and maybe two or three coming at the same time, and what's my options, and all that pressure gives the player a certain type of calmness when they play, that sometimes outdoor only will get experience on a 50-50 bypass, that you have to get there and have to make the best decision, or strikers are pressured by defenders. So maybe you see that, but there's a lot more space outdoor. If you move the ball around well, most of the time you avoid all those issues, of having to have that much pressure. So it's a little different. It's a mindset that I believe not every player can adapt to real quick. Every talented player can adapt, but it could take time, to do it at the best level. I believe that playing indoor and being used to that for 4 years or 3 years, actually, two times that we were PSL national champions, and then last year that we joined MASL, which is way more competitive in the second division. I believe that those players are already with that mentality. Are going to be used to being pressure. Are going to be used to having to think quick and rotate a lot. Like indoor, you literally there's no such a thing as playing a nine. I mean, you might play a nine for 10 seconds, but the next time you're defending because you took a sprint 80 feet long. So
Yeah.
it's kind of situation that allows players to understand. Listen, you're a striker, but you might have to chase that guy down because your teammate, failed to stop him, and they have that reaction time to do it. So it contributes, but it's not everything. You still have decision making. You still have quickness, ability to fast. Shooting. There's guys. Outdoor that they can't be in front of a goal because they're gonna shoot from 30 yards away and bury it. And there's guys that are really good indoor, but they won't have that ability. So it's really tricky. It's really, really hard what's going to happen. But I do believe that it does give you an advantage, being used to playing in a small sided game. And that's maybe why a lot of teams that have success at the TST is because they're indoor players. They're so used to that.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to learn a little bit more about you personally and kind of how you got into soccer, the soccer world. So what's your background in the game?
Man, I was born in Costa Rica, and when I was little, 12, 11, 13 years old, I played, for the Costa Rica national team. We traveled to Guatemala, to play, tournaments and things like that. So I'm always being involved in soccer, right? But the move to the U.S. kind of put that thing a little bit on hold due to you're trying to build the future, basically for your family and all those things. So soccer's always been on my heart, but it's not always been the priority. So I took like a 15-year break, almost from since I was 15 to 30 years old, from that, and built my business, and ended up having the ability to start over. So I just literally always loved that, and I like to help. I like to contribute whatever I can. Sometimes I do more than what I probably should, and put myself in some struggles sometimes just to try to do things and build up a good project. But that's kind of how it went. And then I had some friends approach me and say, "Hey man, we got this indoor team. We don't really want to do it no more, but we love if you do it. I think you can make it get better." And again, you should sometimes say no. Sometimes it's great that you say yes. In this case, I'm glad I say yes because we have made a difference. There's a lot of clubs here in Oklahoma making a difference, and I think that's all great. You need that. You need everybody together making a little difference because it matters. So
Yeah,
so that's kind of how I end up with this Certified Lions Club. And playing since 7 years old into something I used to play with my cousin Keylor all the time as we were growing up. But Keylor ended up outdoing it more than what I did, and so I wish I would have stuck around and hang on by his arm. But that's okay. He took that path. He became very successful. That's a great thing for him, and I did my successful part in different ways. So it's okay. We're sometimes life leads you that way, and now we're trying to teach these kids and these guys, how to do the best out of themselves, and that's okay.
yeah. Any chance in years future, maybe you'll get Kaler, playing for your team?
Man, me and my cousin are really close, man. Him and I, we go way a lot of things when we're little, man. We really grow up from nothing. And so we always being really tight. And who knows? I mean, Kaylor is a really good dude, man. he's a really good guy, and maybe once he's retired, maybe he'll come and do us a favor, and say, hey man, let me go have some fun with my cousin. Who knows? Maybe he will, maybe not. But he has played so much professional soccer that maybe all he wants now is just chill with his family and enjoy them. I'm sure that his career has been very, very busy and training, and had probably sacrificed some time from family. So I'm sure he's ready to take a break. But hey, never know. He might find some interest in the Cousins team. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. All right. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the work, the role of technology and analytics and AI in your work. You know, how do you see that fitting in? And are there, how have you seen, because it's obviously become more popular in the last few years. So what role do you think those sorts of things have in, in owning a team like you do and, in soccer in general?
Man, I think it all comes to accessibility. What's quick, what's easy to read, and what's fast. Everything is just what can, like an example, the TST. You sometimes you have 3 hours in between games. If you can have a company such as Impact that analyzes something in that quick of a time and gets it to you for you to maybe get back to your players and be like, look, this is exactly what we're doing. A place you it's not like you're at your campgrounds where you have a computer and you have all your software and you have all your cameras and all that stuff. You don't have that. You just have, a recording video that you just can see, but it's not the same when you have the analytics. It's not the same when you have all this technology to help you make your job quicker. I mean, we all need some sleep, right? So the more time that we can, less time we can spend doing things, the more time we sleep, right, and rest. So I think this is going to be very, very useful. I think people that try this will be very satisfied just because of the quickness. Normally, companies have to have a software, or you got to buy this camera for me to do this, and you got to have this, and you got to have this expensive membership, and you got to have all this and that, and it costs thousands of dollars. And so I think that accessibility and affordability is going to be amazing. I mean, how hard it is to send a link to a video and say, hey, can you analyze this game? And it comes back to you, in less than 4 hours before your next match is up. I mean, how much better can it get? I mean, you can't ask for anything else, honestly. I mean, that's about as best as it's going to get. So I believe that this is the future. I mean, the more, the better, cheaper, and more accessible that it will be, and it will take the less from you to do. I think it's how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is a super, super exciting partnership. I know, me and a lot of other people at Impact are really, really excited to have this opportunity at the TST with you guys. So, okay, this is one of my final questions here. What would be your sales pitch to someone who's looking for a team in TST and they're maybe on the fence, kind of what makes, you guys, Certified Lions, an appealing option? Why should people root for you guys in TST?
I mean, we have a lot of things that I believe in our aspect that are uh, good, important to us, and everybody has a different type of belief on different things. We are basically 80% Oklahoma grown talent. We dedicate ourselves to bring and grow only our city. But we do bring in occasions people from outside, Miami, LA. We got like 4 or 5 players are from outside. The other 15 are all Oklahoma grown talent. So we believe in creating the opportunity here and growing ourselves here. And there's going to be a lot of talent out there that have played in teams where they have been neglected the opportunity over somebody from outside, because they were local and the other people is outside. We don't do that. We try to grow our talent, try to develop our talent here. So I believe that whoever believes in those kind of values of supporting each own, I believe that they will go out there and see the difference in between us and other people that either go for the money or go for other things out of people. We're not really there for the money. Obviously, it will be great to win $1 million, right? But we're there to grow our talent, to develop our people, to give them the opportunity as we fight for that $1 million.
All right. Well, that's all I have. Make sure, if you're listening, watching, reading, make sure you check out TST next week. Starts on Wednesday. All right. Well, Wilson, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. I know you're super busy preparing for TST.